Understanding narcissistic supply is all about understanding the emotions of infant children. Now, I don't think that there is anyone out there that has ever really defined narcissistic supply the way that I do. But I want you to think about interacting with an infant or a young child. Have you ever noticed how rapidly their face changes when playing peekaboo? Have you ever enjoyed causing them to laugh and giggle? You notice how their emotions and facial expressions reflect yours. You like making faces. You never seen a mama goo goo gaga, right? Well, you see, the emotionality of the young infant is an external expression that induces reactions in the mother because the infant is absolutely helpless. It needs to cause the mother to change her emotion to positive. It needs to, in a sense, punish her when she's a little off. And so the baby will not be smiling or particularly engaging or might even cry, requiring the mother's attention in order to change the baby into happy. And so you notice mothers have an anxious preoccupation with the emotion of the baby, feeling like a good mother when the baby's happy. And so the baby depends upon the mother, and so it needs to induce an emotional bond with the mother, where the baby has a profound impact on the emotionality of the mother. Now, where this comes into play as it pertains to narcissists is that, as I've discussed in a previous video, the formation of all human personality is a paradigm of entrapment within an overarching experience of the fight or flight mechanism being combined with language that defines the individual. Now, this mechanism, the fight or flight reaction, when this baby or young child is exposed to stress, is exposed to neglect, yelling, screaming, punishment. The problem is that the pattern recognition portion of this mechanism is unable to be fulfilled. And so babies that are in high stress environments or get exposed to emotional abuse or are witness to high levels of stress or conflict will not have the ability to pattern recognize or form any cognitive associations with this overarching experience of fear. This will put this child into a reactionary stress state that will disable them from ever really developing a more concrete personality structure. This will also arrest their emotional maturation at the stage of development in which this interruption in development transpired. They will develop cognitively, they will see objects as permanent, but their emotionality will remain short duration, impermanent emotions that are reflected emotions off of the experiences of others. This will prevent empathy, this will prevent paternal and maternal instincts. This will force this individual to learn how to coexist in a world where they are always at the effect of others. This is why they create emulated behaviors. After observing people interact, they know how to get what they want by inducing reactions and behaviors in other people, aka triggering them. These manipulative tactics are experientially required for somebody that needs to stabilize their environment in order to sustain their own emotionality. That's why they like positive experiences of others and why they love the initial phases of relationships, but these relationships will decline because people's emotions are not able to sustain at high levels. And so your emotion changes will cause severe reactions in them, and they will then react towards you, and then you will be triggered, and you will have a downward spiral in a relationship with a narcissist, and they will experience you through the paradigm of their own emotionality. They project as a necessity simply because their mind creates the experience of you based on their current emotions. Without the rest of the emotional framework, They do not really have the ability to experience you independent of their own experience of self, meaning that you show up in their world and their interpretation of you really is given by their own emotionality. This is why some of them end up being seductive or lustful, as their own need for attention and supply will be projected onto others. And so they will think that other people are lusting after them, and they will be affectionately, effusively reacting to an interpretation that is non-existent. But these behaviors will then cause other people to go, oh, and so just like the baby, the narcissists induce emotions in people, and then that in turn causes their emotionality to arise, because that's what little babies do. Little babies cause the mother to be and behave a certain way, laughing, giggling, or frowning, or crying. Those are all outward expressions meant to cause emotions in the mothers in order to get their needs met. That is what narcissists retain throughout their entire life. The behavior and outward emotional expressions to cause reactions and responses in people in order to get the needs of the narcissist met. They will be adult babies for life. That is why they need supply. That is it. And that is something where they will always experience victimhood. Now, victimhood is in physical victimhood, like abuse relationships, or victimhood just in the sense of being at the effect of other people. They always experience being at the effect. That is why they develop strategies to manipulate, control narratives. That's why they do smear campaigns. They do everything they have to do to protect themselves emotionally. They live in a different reality than anybody else. It is a profound affliction, a profound cognitive boundary, a profound disconnection, and existing in this stress state even reduces their access to higher dimensions of self, creativity, love, the ability to see a future distinct from these patterns is something they don't have. It is why the narcissistic mind is always the mind that would nail a Jesus to the cross, always in staunch opposition to any social changes of any nature, because their attachments to their own reality is a survival instinct. It is the fight or flight reaction that has caused all the problems of mankind. But narcissists are particularly attached to the reality they live within. Given the severity of their own emotional changes, that is why they can be dangerous. That is why they can be stalkers. That is why they're going to be the ones that are after anybody that does anything to try to make any changes to any social structure. It is why they have paranoias and things like that. The ego is the issue of mankind. It is the self that we all experience within this external paradigm caused by the fight or flight reaction, fixating our focus on all our problems, anticipating all our own severe emotional reactions as the consequences of failure, disappointment, or devaluation. Everything in our life becomes symbolic of ourselves. And this has been the work of all teachings and enlightenment, would be how to escape the subjective reactionary experience of the illusory ego, to restore oneself to a normalized state of objective reality. That objective state is within all of us at all times. We merely just fixate and focus unconsciously. This process transpires to generate all of our current moment experience of our own existence. We all have a profound gift, a vast creative mind, an objective mind that's in there.